Welcome everyone, KD here with a short update about the state of my game. Um, I'm doing this because I just don't have much time this week for doing live streams. That doesn't mean I don't have time to work on my project, I just didn't find the time to put in another live stream somewhere. Also, what I changed is I don't think too interesting to show on a live stream. Because it's not really something new, it's more adding one. Actually, there are two parts I did. One part is adding new animations to the combat, so we have so the combat is a little bit richer with some animations. Just disclaimer right now, nothing is finished, not the models, the armature, and definitely not the animations are finished. They're more prototype animations, so to see how the combat works out without animations and so on. And the second part is I started to put up the layout and the widget for then the progression system, or kind of like in the main game, this place where you can level up your characters will be called resting places, and I put the layout for the UI and so on. I started this, and this is the second part I will go in this video. So I will explain this a little bit further there. But like I said, nothing special happened there. It's just really this the layout of the UI and so on. So if we look at the combat, we see one new thing, and this is the top, this top window here. We'll get a little bit more information about your characters. So right now we only have one character. So here, this part here right now, there will be an image of the character and the character name, and then now we have the health and the energy in numbers, and I'm not sure if I will keep the experience points here if this is needed really. We'll see. Another thing that I maybe add here is the RT time, and so you have a overview even if you're not in this window here, if you're in the selection window, who is ready next and so on. That's maybe what I will do. Also will do or maybe I will exchange the XP for the RT time. That's another thing. Anyway, what you won't see is kind of enemy health, enemy energy, or anything like that. The enemy, you only have this little widget here without numbers or anything like that, so you have to go by that. That doesn't mean that there won't be any abilities or anything like that that may reveal the HP for an enemy and things like that. That's a possibility, but in general you won't have the exact numbers. You have to go by the widget and see how much damage he may have left and things like that. Then let's go to the animations. So I did quite a bit of animations. It's still not everything. So what I did as example is short range attack, and we have here a little stabbing animation. What you also saw right now is, let me pause this. I also made animations for reactions for the defender. So actually I made three right now. One is for when he gets hurt. That was the animation you just saw. Then blocking, and the third one is dodging, or when the player misses. These three animations I did for the sandworm and for our play character. What I didn't do yet are parry and counter. So we will immediately see a reaction here, whatever happens. This is the second attack, that's also new. So we see he took damage, so he kind of reacted with going back. So seems the animation is a little bit slow, but that's maybe because of OBS. Second thing I did is long range attack, are now finally on. So long range attack at the moment is just him throwing stuff, so like throwing a stone or anything like that. But so he kinda gets from somewhere the stone, so I have to figure out for the main game for sure from where he gets the stone. Probably we'll have some ammunition, holsters or anything like that around the belt or anything like that. So then he will get the stone out from there. So right now he just takes it, I don't know, from the pocket or anything like that. And when we go further, he kinda juggles with the stone a little bit. And then when we attack, I have to change this one here. That's now. See, maybe I will even take this one here back to command into the top list here. Anyway. And when we animate, he should throw the stone. And then we see enemy reacts. So I did, because this was easy right now to set up, I did this part for both hit points. There are different animations for both hit points of the enemy. So he will throw the stone at different places if you hit different hit points. Kind of thing what is right now is that the stone is not really animated. What I did here, so I will show you the second hit point for a moment. And now you see he hit the head. Oh, okay. This one is still on a loop, that's why he did it 2 times, but it's fine. I can fix that very fast. I wish he would do another animation or anything like that, but yeah. Yeah, the stone is not animated yet. What I did is I did it with morph targets. What actually works. What works okay with morph targets. Some with our morph targets are deformation of objects. So the deformation here is actually a transformation. So I put the stone on a different position in the relationship to my character and the enemy. And I added this to the animation so the stone, so it looks like the stone is flying. I don't know if I keep this here. I mean, there are at least 2 other options I could do. One option is to go to do it physical, however, with physics. However, I'm really absolute the beginner with physics, so if I learn more about physics, I may do that. The other option is to animate it. So the thing is that I anyway need for the weapons, I need an extra bone in the armature, so I can be a little bit more flexible with the weapons. Absolute with the Stonebreak, with the long hammer like weapon here. The problem is with this weapon, with the Stonebreaker, it is connected to his right hand, and at the moment I can't change the height. I mean, because it's a long weapon and you have a very long grip, you have this flexibility to change the location of your hand to have a bigger reach or anything like that. So I could do this with animation. I also could do this with morph targets, so I'm not sure in which direction I go. Right now morph target seems to work actually pretty fine, so I will see. So the third or the fourth, or I don't know how much, is items. When we go to the items, now he grabs out a potion or a potato out of his backpack, and when we go here, it's hardly to see now because of the selection screen. Probably have to change this a little bit here. But he has now the potion in the hand, and when we select him, then he will drink the potion. And when we have a potato, he will eat the potato. So that's anyway more or less the things I did for the combat. So there is right now what I have to do here animation wise is adding animation for the second hit point of the enemy. That's the first thing I have to do, and then we have to go further with a little bit more specific stuff. What is also missing right now is for tech weapon I have no animations, but I probably will do this later. I'm not even sure if I will do it for the first, probably not even for the first version of the demo. It depends how good I get forward with everything. Because it will be a little bit complicated, so with the tech weapon I don't want to explain this too much right now. And with that we jump into the second part of this update. So this is now the second thing I changed. This is kind of the layout for then the resting place. So in the demo we will have kind of three different parts. One is the combat, and then the two other things. One is resting place where you can improve your characters and things like that and learn new abilities. And then there will also be a shop. That's the third part, where you can buy new stuff and sell things. In the main game we of course then also have the world maps where you can walk around, interact with NPCs and other things and so on. Yeah, so in the resting place, you will find resting place all over the world. Then resting places are kind of checkpoints and things like that. It's not saving. I don't want to go too much into the dev mechanics I have for the game. It's not the common death mechanic where you die and then you wake up at the last point you saved. It will be a little bit different because you don't lose all your progress. You just get a penalty, and then you you have to get back to the last resting place. You get the penalty. I won't go too much into the penalty yet, but that's kind of the thing. But most of your progress you can keep. So I started a new map, but right now it's empty. So here I probably will do a little more, of course, than just an empty map. For the main game, of course, every resting place will look a little bit different in the background, and what we also kind of have then will be the characters. You will see the character that is selected in the background doing a little animation or anything like that. What we see here is again the top window here. I guess I would say the top window we will see probably everywhere. So I showed you already in the combat. I added it there, so in the combat it will be only for informations. Here it's to select your character by pressing then on the portrait of the character. And then because in the combat we only have 3 characters, but here maybe we have some characters in the reserve, so we can press on the arrow here to select all the characters that are not in the party. So for the resting place, what is special here is that you recover your energy, but it won't recover your health. You have to use items and things like that for recovering your health. Yeah, so I won't go into much detail, just give you a little overview what we have here in this list here, in the command list here. So first thing is item box. Here you can check your items, you can exchange or fill up your field items again and things like that. So field items are items you can use in combat or in the world map, like potions and stuff like that, that recover health and things like that. But also attack items or things that or support items and things like that. Everything you can use in a combat. So the thing here is that you're limited with what you can bring with you. So you can only bring so much potion with you and so on. So if you and you maybe can only bring 2 or 3 different kind of field items with you. This is something you can improve during the main game. You can bring more items with you and a bigger amount of items and stuff like that. In the demo it's not that important because you always, after combat, you can always come back here and refill your stuff. In the main game it will be a little bit more problematic because you may walk through the dungeon and you don't find a resting place after every battle, so that's a little bit the thing. Anyway, however, what you don't have to worry is kind of if you have already, if your potion is filled up, you don't have to worry that that you have to do this kind of management with, oh, should I leave the potions behind and take another item if you find something or something like that. It won't be a problem. So if you find something, it will be transported automatically to the item box, and if you find a resting place, next time you can exchange this item that you found. And if you have an empty slot or anything like that, then you will pick it up and you have it immediately in your inventory. So what is also with the item box is kind of like there will be, depending on the chapter you play and the story progression, you will play with different characters, characters that maybe never have met before and things like that. But with the item box you can kind of still exchange items between these characters. So this has nothing to do with the narrative. This is just a convenience for the game. Anyway, that's kind of the item box, the idea here. Then abilities, here you can, this is kind of the skill tree if you want. I will definitely go deeper into this. Here you can exchange experience points for learning new abilities and things like that. Then characters, I'm not sure how I want to call this. This here you can improve your characters. As example, you can level up your attributes and other things. I don't want to go too deep into that yet. Again, this is something I will explain a little bit further. There are also kind of tasks that are connected to characters that if you solve them, then you have the chance to level this character up more. So as example, kill 10 enemies of this type and things like that. Again, for the demo, this will probably be if it is in the demo, it will be very, very limited. Then party is here you can exchange your party, or you can also look at tasks that are not referenced to one character but to the whole party, and that give you small buffs for the whole party. Again, it's kind of like if you kill so many of this type of monsters, you do more damage, or you can get better loot and stuff like that. So there are kind of these small tasks, that grindy task that, but that also allow kind of, if you want to finish this task, you have to also do kind of a little bit different stuff in the combat itself and things like that. But it's not only combat, it's also world connected to interacting with in the world and things like that. And it will give you, for finishing this task, you will get some small rewards for it. But of course, this stuff is optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. So that's kind of what you will find here. So it's very similar to the characters, but it's more connected to the whole party and not just to one character. Then equipment. Here you can exchange your equipment, your clothing. It's kind of customization part, but you can also improve equipment that is unique for this character. As example, the Stonebreaker is unique to Ararween, and you can't give the Stonebreaker to someone else or anything like that. So, but these weapons can be improved and stuff like that. Then under crafting is you can yeah, it's what it says. You can craft things here. You can craft armor plates. I will go. I probably another time I will go a little bit how I can imagine to do the armor. There will probably be two different parts of armor, and one of them will be destructible. So what you also can do here is repair armor that is damaged, because if that armor gets completely destroyed, you have to craft it from the start again and things like that. Also, you can create potions and things like that. However, to craft, you first have to learn the ability to craft this, and to learn to learn an ability, you first have to find a blueprint or a recipe or anything like that, that gives you the knowledge to how you want to do it. I will definitely go a little bit further into that when I have more about this stuff. And then the last thing is leave, and that's kind of all for now. Like I said, there is a lot in this couple of commands here, and it would take too long if I would explain this everything right now. I think I will, if I go further with the layout, I will explain more the more specific stuff a little bit further, and so on. So with that, I will end this video. Thank you for watching.